So that's how you script it, right? You struggle through the second quarter and then turn it on in the second half?
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. No, honestly, was super proud of the way we came out with defensive urgency, doing things the right way. Second quarter, part of our game plan was the way we were guarding gave up some threes, and the girl made us pay. She did. But at the same time, I think when we weren't scoring in the second quarter, our defensive urgency fell. And it just can't happen. That can't happen. That has happened to us in the past. So I'm glad we learned before, third quarter goes by, fourth quarter goes by, and adjusted at half. And we quit settling for threes when we were missing threes, which helped us in the third quarter get high percentage shots at the rim. Super proud of Emma in there, Sarah in there. Battling, sealing, getting some great looks for us. And just a lot of players stepped up. Tessa hit big shots, Bella a huge second half. So was happy with how we did respond in the second half after that flat second quarter.
How much discussion had to go on at halftime in order to make the adjustments necessary for this one?
It was all things that we have talked about before, and honestly, most of the time I let them do the talking at halftime and tell me what they're seeing and what needs to happen, and they know. So that's the good thing. They do know. It's just, I think, the in-game being able to stop our spirals a little bit quicker, which, you know what? Like I said, at least we did stop it after the second quarter and flipped it in the third. But that was the story of our Parkside game. That second quarter was our whole second, third, and fourth quarter at Parkside. So, and we have them coming up Saturday. So it's like flashbacks, right? Like we got to learn from that. And maybe it's good that it happened in the second quarter today. So now we are prepared moving into Saturday. Huge game against Parkside. I don't even know if they won tonight or if that game's done yet or not, but that's going to be so critical. They're so good offensively. If we're not scoring it, which may happen for a few possessions, right? We need to keep executing defensively. And then we need to go get a high percentage shot and not settle. So great to learn that tonight. We're looking forward to Saturday.
It seemed like after her technical foul, Bella went off, and you needed her to in the second half.
Yeah, we did. We did need somebody to step up. And she did. It was a flimsy call, I will say. As she was driving, like her hand came up, but technically it's a technical if you hit somebody in the face. So it is what it is. Not ideal when she has 3-4 fouls in the second half. You're like, eh. But she was smart enough and was able to stay in the game, and she did down the stretch, make some big plays, big shots, handled the ball, made good decisions.
One of the biggest things that your team was able to do tonight was get rebounds.
Yeah.
Whether those turn into points or not, talk about figuring out other ways to make something effective so that you're keeping yourself in this game until you can get going.
Absolutely. Another thing, when you're not shooting it well, you have more opportunities for offensive rebounds. We had 21 offensive rebounds, and we all know Alex is a huge part of that. She goes to glass every time. She had 7 herself. But just creating those extra opportunities when we weren't shooting it great tonight, we got 20 extra shots at the rim than them. And it's only a 7-point game. If we don't get those offensive rebounds, we don't win that game.
You touched on it. Emma had a huge first half for you coming off the bench. And you need that at this point in the year, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We do need people to come in and contribute. And it was great to see her hit shots early. I love that. She's shooting it confidently. I think Alyssa comes in off the bench and hits big shots. She had one in I think it was the fourth quarter when they were getting close, maybe within 2. I think when she hit her 3, that was huge for us. So great to see that. But yeah, we have a lot of people contributing. Even Maya, like only 2 points, but she was so physical in there with Mercedes, who we held to under double digits, 8 points, which was phenomenal. And then that last play where 32 was driving at the rim, Maya steps over, uses her length, plants her feet, doesn't get the foul call, gets the stop. So she was in there for big minutes, like significant, close game, which she hasn't before, and she was great.
You held Simmons and Shaw in check in the first half pretty well, but Jackson goes off for 17 points. What adjustments did you make on her at halftime to keep her to only 2 in the second half?
Yeah, that was part of the game plan going in, kind of make her beat us, and she did. So credit to her. She did. She was like, no, I'm going to make my shots. So good for her. She is a good player. She made us pay, and then we did adjust, okay? And we adjusted in the second half with that, and then we're able to slow her down a little bit. So, yeah, that was just a game plan. That was on me. Her 17 points in the first half was on me. At least the threes were. I will not say the right-handed layups were on me. That was not okay. But we adjusted how we were guarding in the second half and still did a great job on Mercedes.
Mercedes, this is essentially a home game for her. How important was it to keep her as contained as you did until late in the third quarter?
Yeah, well, regardless of, I would say, where we're playing or her being from the UP, things like that, like, she's just a dang good player. And she finishes so well at the basket. She's, I think it's third in our conference for field goal percentage. So you got to limit her touches because she finishes so well. So that was a huge key, limiting her deep post touches and limiting Shaw. So, going into halftime, she hadn't scored at all. So that was phenomenal, and that took everybody. And then, she got some in the fourth, but she's a good player.
What can you take from this as you get ready to face Parkside on Saturday?
What I just talked about, our second quarter. Our second quarter, learning from that. And not letting it last a whole quarter. Not letting it last a whole half. So you know what? Maybe I'm glad it happened today. I wouldn't say I'm glad. But hopefully we learn from it. Hopefully we learn from it for Saturday.